It's bad for team, it's bad for you, and bad things will happen for you if you do this stuff. They make that very clear with everyone except Patrick Mahomes.
And he doesn't do a podcast.
No, but he does all this other stuff like get drunk playing golf on national TV.
Right.
Which is certainly not something the Chiefs like.
Probably not. Did you feel like he was drunk?
I do, because his game fell apart.
Oh, no, he hit the ball close on, what, next to the last hole?
I think he had 3 holes left, and he said he'd already had 5. So how many did he finish? What do you have, 8 or 9 beers? I don't think you're getting behind the wheel.
Well, he was behind the wheel. I guess some people talk about that.
And that didn't go real well either a couple times. He almost hit a dude. I mean, look, it's his life, whatever. But, they don't want Tyreek Hill doing podcasts. And they've just got 2 sets of rules. And I'm actually okay with it. You treat your star players differently maybe than the rank and file. But the Chiefs are as difficult as any team to play for, with all of the rules and all of the restrictions that they have on players and what they'll allow them to do, what they require them to do. They take it to the nth degree until they have a star, and then they let the star do kind of whatever they want. They clearly were not willing to do that with Tyreek Hill.
That's true, but I think Patrick Mahomes in the main has proved himself to be responsible and doesn't create much controversy, and maybe that was a little bit over the line. But he's pretty much been, even when dealing with pretty controversial issues, I think he's been pretty down the middle and borderline boring. He's just boring out there a lot.
Well, his family's embarrassed him quite a bit. There's been all kinds of social media stuff.
That's for sure.
He has become a player, and the Chiefs are becoming a team that people outside of Kansas City do not like. And he's bringing that on himself. Aaron Rodgers has done some of that. I mean, there are players that do that. He's doing that. I was going to ask you after we got to Tyreek Hill, if you think Patrick Mahomes is serious enough, and the question is a big, broad question. They've had 4 straight title games at home and 1 Super Bowl win to show for it. And I would just ask you this. They all talk about his maturity and all this stuff. I think he's a great talent and a great player. I don't think he's serious enough. I don't think he's as good a shape as he should be in. I think he could be an even better player, and I don't think he takes his craft that seriously. I think he's a cocky, trash-talking dude that gets by on talent and has a lot of talent around him and a great scheme. And at some point in his career, he reminds me, he doesn't really remind me of George Brett. I can't say that. But George Brett, when he got to be about 28, 29 years old, 30, got a lot more serious about being in shape, sustaining what it is that he can do, a student of the game. I don't think Mahomes is anywhere near that.
Well, I don't think he's Tom Brady, but I do think he, quote unquote, loves football and likes practicing it and likes getting into the game plans and watching film and doing things like that. So I'm probably going to disagree with you a little bit. Could he take it to the nth degree, the Tom Brady model? Not quite there, but maybe more serious. Yeah, I think he could. And I think it's always been, I think he's gotten in better shape in his time in Kansas City, but certainly not, he's no slave to workouts, clearly. I think he's pretty serious.
Okay, when I watch him play, he never reminds me of that studious quarterback, ever. I can't think of one play where I thought, wow, he game planned all week and really fooled that defense. He beats defenses. He makes ridiculous plays. He scrambles around and does unbelievable things. I have never watched him and for a second thought he's a student of the game that loves watching film. These 2 deep defenses have confused the crap out of him. He has not adjusted very well. They're clearly changing the offense now. They're going with bigger possession receivers to try to change what defenses do because he can't figure them out. I haven't seen him do this, Danny. They keep talking about him like that. There's no way. I mean, I watched Alex Smith play football. I've watched Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. I don't see any of that in Patrick Mahomes. None. Zero.
I agree. It's not certainly to that level of dedication to his craft, but I think few are, and maybe he doesn't have the, well, I think the thing is, when you have gotten to the point where he's the best, there's no question about that. It's just how much better you want to be when you're already the best. I don't think he has the Michael Jordan, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady burning desire to just squeeze every last drop out of what he's got. I agree with that.
If I were the Chiefs, I would be begging my friends in the national media this July, August, the preseason. If I were Andy Reid, if I were going to be off the record, I'd be calling everyone I know in the media and telling them to do a story and write a story that the Chiefs' window is closed. That they had 4 straight title games at home. They only got 1 to show for it. They didn't get any better. Their schedule's impossible, and they're done. If I were Andy Reid, I would want everybody to be saying the Chiefs have blown it.
Well, I think that, those type of things, obviously, one thing we do know about Patrick Mahomes is that he remembers things and he does get motivated by perceived slights, and that would certainly be one. So an quote-unquote angry Patrick Mahomes or whatever is a better Patrick Mahomes. There's no doubt about that, than a comfortable Mahomes. And I do think you're right. He falls into, we've seen it, that he falls into the ways, and he's even admitted it, of being too improvisational, just not sticking to script when he can. And I do think there's too much of that in his game. And you can't, if you tweet it during a game or whatever, he's had interceptions that have been caused by unnecessary no-look passes when, just a standard old pass is going to get the job done. But it is hard to criticize somebody who's as good as he is.
It is, but if he were my next door neighbor or my nephew or whatever, I would sit down with him for at least 15 minutes and say, look, Tyreek Hill is gone. Travis Kelce is soon to be gone, and I mean soon. Months, not years. You could see where he's got maybe 24 months left of high-level football or less. He could have an injury. And Andy Reid ain't coaching that long. And you've had 4 of these title games and 1 Super Bowl. You know what people are going to remember you for? You better go get it done. And I just believe somebody needs to convince him that he needs to be more serious. I just don't think he's a real serious person, which that's part of his personality. He's kind of fun-loving. He's out there. He does all these events. He's always on social media. He's always somewhere cool. He's at Bonnaroo. He's at the golf tournament. He's in Maui playing golf with Kelce. He's in Vegas. He's doing whatever. He's everywhere. And I'm not saying that other football players don't live that life, but he doesn't appear to be as serious as other quarterbacks. He just does. It's the way it comes off anyway.